Hello, my name is Randy Dobson. I'm an instructor here in the Houston, Texas area, and this video will be on the Autocad layer command. This will actually be the two of two videos. You should have watched the first one already. This one's going to take the layering and just a little bit further along using the same screen I had before. One of the things that I stopped on the first one I want to continue is your line types. Uh, Whenever you see a certain type of line type, and I'm gonna try to bring up something here real quick. Let me see. Bear with me 1 second. Should have had this up. Okay. When you look here, you have different types of line types, which I'll be getting into this more. This one right here is called a center line. You have a dash line. The long line with the two little ones, those are called phantom lines. Here it's two dashes, and so on, zigzag. Uh, so there's a correct way and there's an incorrect way of doing that. I want you to understand that whenever you see a line type, you need to create a layer for that line type. That is the correct way of doing it. You can go in and hard change it. I try not to teach that until my advanced classes, but I want you to learn it the correct way. So you come up here to your layer properties, and again, this is a continuation of the first video. And I'm going to click over here on the line type, and as you can see, there's only one line type. So I need to load them, which is right here. So I select load. Now, instead of going through and picking all of these, I can just somewhere in this screen on my right mouse button click, and then with my left mouse button hit select all, then hit OK. Now, because I am in the circle line type, I'm going to go ahead and pick dashed. I'll just do dash 2. And then for the lines, and once you load the line types, they're there. They stay in the drawing. Continuous, I'm going to go to center, and text we will just leave alone. Now, as you notice, my lines are now a center line, and my circles are all now dashed. Okay, this is the correct way to do it. When I select this or hover over it, you'll see that it says by layer color, by layer line type. That's what you want to see. Uh, what some people will tell you is, oh, there's a quicker way to do it. If you come over here and highlight this text, and you come up here to where it says by layer, and you change that to, let's say, batting, okay? What you've done is you've made a hard change. This is not how I want you to do it, but I want you to be understanding, because in a rush, you might have to do it this way. But in normal, 99% of the time, you're going to define a line type by its layer. The problem is, if you do this and say your client comes back and says, well, I want my lines all to be dashed like the circle, well, I come up here to layer properties, I go to center 2, and I come down here to dashed, and I hit OK. All my lines change to dash except this one. This one will stay that batting forever and ever until I either change it to another line type or change it back to by layer. Uh, if you notice when I highlight this, it doesn't say by layer. That is breaking my rule. This should say by layer. Come up here to the top, and as you can see, it is back now correct. Uh, this is how you want to set your line types. Okay. If you needed a line type that was a phantom, you would come to layer properties. Say you just want to call it phantom. I'm making a new one. Go to continuous. Come down here to phantom. Okay, I'm going to make it my active layer by double clicking on it. Let's make it another color. Let's just go with cyan. Now, since it's active, anything I draw, a line, excuse me, a line. It's going to be a phantom line. If I draw a circle, the circle will be a phantom line. So this is the correct way of doing it, that you use the layers to create your line types. Now, sometimes you may want to have something on a drawing that's there for your information, but you don't want it to plot. You may have something, let's say that you do some text over here to the side saying, this drawing was rotated for ease of use. Okay, and I want that there, and say I want it in the drawing, but I just want to tell anybody that opens it up, hey, I rotated this drawing. Well, I could come over here to layer properties, make a layer, and I could just call it no plot, or I could just say notes. But come right over here. This you kind of have to open it up a little bit. And see right here, when I click on this, it will not plot. Now the difference between like the on and freeze, I can actually see this. I'm going to show it to you real quick. I'm going to take this note and I'm going to put it on notes. As you can see, I can still see it. But watch what happens when I go to plot. And there's another video on plot, so don't worry about that. And I'm going to do a window of this area. And I'm going to say center of the plot, give me a preview. Well, as you can see, that text doesn't show up. Okay. Everything else does. I can hit escape. See, there's the text. But because I have it on that no plot, I can put it there. And just to kind of help it, I could also go to lock, which is no special password or key. You just click, I'm sorry, not that one, notes, lock. What that means is I can't edit it. If I go to move, see, it won't let me move it. I can't select it. I can't erase it. So it's there. And as you notice, it's kind of shaded back a little bit. And when I hover it over it, it gives the little lock symbol over it. So that's a really nice thing. Whenever you go to create a dimension, I'm just going to do this real quick. Dimensions automatically create what's called a depth points layer, which you'll learn about in the dimensioning layer. But as you notice, the printer's not even there to select. Okay, the depth points layer cannot print. Anything that's on depth point layers will never ever print. Where here, my notes, I could always come over here and just uncheck that, and then it would print. But the depth points won't do that. Okay, so remember that. Now there are more advanced settings that will help you, and I'm gonna make some new layers. I'm gonna call it storm text. I'm gonna do another one, sanitary text, and let's do table text. Okay, so I've got these layers. Over here to the left, you have what's called a filter or a group. A group is where you can select layers to go into your group that you can isolate them. I'm going to go over here and say group, and I'm going to say original. Original, if I can spell. I don't think I spelled that right, but so if I go back here to all the used layers, if you remember, I started with 0, circle, lines, notes, and phantom. Those are the ones, and actually text. Those are my original ones. I've highlighted those by holding the control key each time. Now if I just hold down my left mouse button and drag it over to original and drop, see, there's all the used layers. Now there's the original ones I started off with. Okay, so I can create any kind of group that I want to. So I've got them all used layers, It does not move everything to this one only. It just organizes them into a certain group. Uh, Now the filters, I'm going to go back to all use layers. The filter works a little different. I'm gonna make another red layer here just to kind of show you. The filter actually will pick something up, and you don't get to decide which ones go in. They go in by what you set them. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go to filters, and I'm going to call this text. This is the name I give it. And I'm going to click right here and see the little asterisk. That's a wildcard. So it means I'm going to type in asterisk shift 8 text. Any layer name that has text in it will now be in that filter. And as you can see, it's showing those. I hit OK. Now, only things with text. Here's original. Here's all used. I could go one further and say, I'm going to go to filters and say red layers and come here to color. And you have to kind of do this little fly out. I'm going to pick only layers that are red. And there they are. There's the red layers. There's the layers I started with. There's the layers that only have text. Okay. So this is a nice tool. I will tell you that when using AutoCAD, the more organized you are, it does take a little time up front to be more organized, but the more organized you are, whenever you have to come back and edit a drawing, and you will have to edit a drawing, it's just depending on the level of editing, that having everything organized like this is extremely helpful. Another example I use, I don't know if any of y'all have ever done your own income tax, but imagine you've got two people in your family. One that keeps all the receipts in a big box, and then you have another family member that has every receipt in a file within a folder organized and named for different uses. Which one's going to get done with their income tax quicker and probably more correct? The one that had it all organized. Again, you will work with people that will not be organized, and they will swear to you that this is faster. Don't worry about that. They are incorrect. Please have them email me so I can set them straight. You want to do this the correct way up front. No shortcuts. But this is one of the things that can help you with doing layers. I've not messed with my use layers. If I came over here to the, if I grabbed, say this one and put it in the original by accident, here, all the use layers are still fine. If I change this storm text to green, well, anywhere I go, that storm text is going to be green. Okay. So it's just like making a copy. All of these are just copies of the main layers. And that concludes my video on layers. Thank you very much.